Hey everybody, we're the Garlands on the go. I'm Sam,
And I'm Lori.
and we're just taking a minute to catch everybody up on where we have been so far.
Great. We want to do this periodically so that you have some idea of, what our adventures have been and just some statistics around our trip.
Here we are in the sun. We've had a lot of sun and a beautiful background. We've been going for a couple of months now, and we are still happy with our decision to do this.
Very much so.
But we wanted to sit down and just look back and kind of track what we've experienced in the last couple of months for us and to share with everybody kind of a recap of what's happened. So to start with, we're driving a 2024 GMC 2500 HD. We're pulling a Grand Design Imagine 2600 RB. We, so far, for those 2 months, have spent $1,724 on fuel. And so our average price has been about $279. So we got the Love's card account to save some money on fuel. We've driven 5,855 miles. 4,076 has been pulling the trailer, just getting from point to point. The other 1,700 has been running around, seeing the sights from each location. So far we have stayed in 9 different states.
And this means sleeping. We've
Yeah.
driven through more, but
But we're only putting the sticker on the side when we stay there. Stayed in 7 state parks. We've visited 10 national sites, parks, historic sites. Stayed at 2 harvest hosts. We've stayed in 2 county parks, which have been fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about those until we've done this, and they've been great.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 dispersed camping spot in New Mexico. We've only spent $20 to refill 1 propane tank. It's been warm enough that, or we've had electric, so we could use the electric heater. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of our travel so far.
So we've also spent an average of $49 a night. We've stayed, as Sam said, in state parks and harvest hosts and county parks. Those have been the cheaper ones. And then we have stayed in some other private owned campgrounds that are a little higher priced. So that's been our average. The average it's cost us for laundry, not average, it has cost us $70 for laundry for the past 2 months.
And that's a big thing that,
Right.
right? We've never been to a laundromat before this. So
Yeah.
now we're dealing with quarters. Do we have quarters?
Do we
Oh
have-
no, you've got to buy a card.
Had to get quarters from Michelle in Roswell. Right. So, and of course, obviously it costs us something at home, but you don't really track it that way. We have biked. Let's see. Sam has biked about 105 miles, and I've biked 77 miles. So that was one of our objectives as we headed out, was to be healthier and to get more exercise. So I think we're accomplishing that. I'm taking 60% more steps per my Apple Watch, and increased my exercise minutes. So, that's really important. And Sam actually got a lot of exercise in his previous job, so he has maintained his, and also we've added in some stretching exercises as well. So, and the stretching is important because, when you are traveling, you're sitting a lot in the truck, and we found that our backs are needing to be stretched out afterwards.
So the yoga feels good.
Okay, so some questions, and feel free at the end of the video to comment, and maybe ask us other questions that we haven't answered for you, or that you just want to know. So I'm sure these are just the questions that came up for us. So what surprised you the most in these last 2 months of going out on the road?
So I think before we left, I was getting really nervous because I felt like we were moving. I guess I equated it to maybe how the kids felt when they went away to college. because we're leaving for so long. And what has surprised me is how easy this has become normal. I mean, this is so.
Means you're adaptable.
Who would have guessed that one? But hey, we're in the same camper. We're just dragging home with us. So I was nervous for nothing. It's just you wake up somewhere different every week.
Yeah. For me, I have been surprised at the food management. The refrigerator in the camper is about probably a third of the size of the refrigerator at home. So shopping more often, just managing the food has just been a little more difficult than I expected it to be.
Yeah, and I think that figuring out, what are we going to do for dinner this week or whatever is, I don't know, seems more of a thing.
We talk about it more than we did at home.
I guess. Right now, I'm part of it.
Yeah, you're part of it. So the other thing that surprised me that I was thinking about this morning is the recycling. Like, that has been a big shock to me that when we got out of New England, that not very many places recycle.
Nope.
So it's like just different. We recycle, we compost at home, and just not doing any of that. It's all just goes in the dumpster. So.
Yep. And the fact that we've not been able to put away our magic jackets, our puffy jackets.
Puffy jackets, yeah.
So, we're in the South, it's going to be warm, but it's down to 40 or 50 each morning. So at 6 o'clock to go out with Annie, it's still easy just to slide on the jacket. So maybe we get to the point where we can pack it away.
And when the sun goes down, it gets cool really fast. So to sit outside, it's just nice to have an extra layer on there.
Yeah. So, have there been any disappointments so far?
So for us, camping is always, we've always had like an outdoor fire. And I think that has been somewhat of a disappointment is that we've been in places that don't allow because of fire risk, right? Coming across Texas and New Mexico, it was very dry.
And the wind never stopped.
Right.
And got extreme.
Right. Or there was no fire pit provided. Sometimes there was a grill provided, but not really a fire pit that you could sit around. Or sometimes it's been really just too cold, right? So it's been, at night it can get down in the 40s. So really wasn't so much fun to sit around.
Right. As soon as the sun goes down, the temperature drops.
Yeah.
And just the two of us, it's like, hey, we can be warm inside instead of huddled around a little fire.
Okay. So what do you love about this adventure, this trip?
So I love that we keep moving to different places. And, right, when you pull in, you back into your spot and you look around like this, right? And see another unique and beautiful setting where, hey, this is going to be home for the next 4 or 5 days. Just love seeing new things. So far, right, every stop, there's been something new and unique for us to check out.
Yeah, I would have to agree that I don't mind the moving, the packing up, and, we both have a routine down. We could probably pack up in an hour easily.
We just have to take time to double check each other at the end of that hour before we hit the road.
That dang refrigerator. Yeah. Make sure that's secure. And so that's really something that I've loved too. Our average stay really has been like 4 to 5 nights, 3, 4, 5 nights. We did just have a longer stint in Catalina for 8 nights, which was planned because we needed to get some things done. You
had to deal with real life, just every day, get the truck serviced,
get my hair colored.
Just normal stuff we have to do, and there was a lot to do in that area, so it made sense to be there for a bit before we moved on.
But that's really our longest until we get to South Dakota, when we get to see Robin and David, our friends, and our family is coming. Some of our family is coming out to meet us.
Yep. So, right, advice that we would offer now after being 2 months in, just do it. It is, so we were nervous before we've been planning for years, but as it got like down to it. We were getting pretty nervous. But I'm glad that we put the stake in the ground and committed to it, because it's just been a great experience. A lot of decisions to make along the way. In spite of all the planning that you've done,
Right.
there's still a lot of decisions every day to make.
Yeah, it does feel that way. It's, sometimes it's the split second driving decisions, which,
It's, hey, have two GPSs going.
Right.
Because going into Houston in the city traffic, the exit that we were supposed to take was closed, and the GPS very politely said, your destination cannot be calculated when we drove by.
Yeah, so that was a little stressful, and we ended up in a residential neighborhood, but thankfully we could work our way out and get to our campsite.
Yeah.
Meals, because of the small refrigerator and what we have, I've always planned meals, but this is a little different. I don't know, we feel like we're about meals.
Yeah. It's like you have to be more specific about it or something. You just don't have flexibility. I don't know, but I never had to worry about that. I was spoiled.
And then unplanned time. When you get to a place, it really, having done the research and what you want to see and what you want to do, and which is also building in time for relaxation as well. But
No, we've had plenty of that, right? You've read 7 or 8 books in the 2 months. But right, we don't want to squander our time, because this is our time to see everything in these areas as we go. So we're trying to find the balance between taking downtime, but also don't waste time.
Right.
Yeah.
But that leads to a decision, or discussion and decision. So that's definitely, decision fatigue is real. And then the other thing that I would say is to save your pennies, right? We've been planning this for a long time, for years, and saving money. I don't know if you've seen any other YouTube channels or whatever, but it's not cheap to be on the road. I thought food would be less expensive in the South. It wasn't. It was pretty comparable to what we pay at home.
And we're eating in most of the time,
And
right?
we're eating but prices in restaurants have gone up as they have at home. So, we're still trying to maintain our lifestyle the way it was. But it's in addition to our regular expenses, because we decided, or we didn't make any major decisions like selling our house and that type of thing. So you have to watch your pennies.
Yep. It's an investment in memories, right? I mean, that's one of those
memory dividends.
Memory dividends.
We're making memory dividends.
Yep. So we're glad that we've done it. Really happy, thankful that we're blessed to be able to do it, and I guess would encourage anybody else thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Make a decision, and put a stake in the ground and work towards that, because it's great to do it while you can, because we have no guarantees on what is going to happen tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. So I would echo that as well. Just get out there, do it.
Yes.
All right.
See you next time.